They were passionate trainers, and I was scared, literally scared for the life of me. A little bit speechless after that. I'm not not one to take that positivity well, but wow. Where else now can you search for a player only knowing their team and their number and find your match? Ask Anna. I don't know. She has been incredible since coming in. I think one of the big things, and it's the kind of stuff that goes unnoticed, but she has instilled a huge amount of confidence in our squad. Super athletic, a very good shot. And I have never seen someone look so calm and composed at the speed that he moves. I think massively underrated. Yeah, and the best thing is it's the other way round.
Yeah.
Oh yes, she did.
you need to be grilling her on this one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 7 of the For Korf's Sake podcast. I am one half of your hosts, James Sawyer, and I am joined by my legendary co-host, fashion icon, Caitlin Dripps-Gerald.
I've been inspired by yourself, the dark colours on these dark winter nights.
Dark winter nights. Oh, yes. Oh, I love it. We're on episode 7, Caitlin. 7. Can you believe it? 7 heaven.
7 going strong. I haven't got a rhyme, but we'll keep going.
Yeah. Nice. Anyway, how has your week been, Caitlin? Tell me.
Yep. Yeah, big kind of Korfball packed weekend. Of course, the first ETS session, so first England trial on Saturday. Really great turnout, really positive vibes. Obviously, there's been quite a lot of turmoil, lots of in the ETS over the past few months, as in kind of chopping and changing of people in certain positions, but seems to have got good setup now. So hoping that continues forwards. Good game on the Sunday, also refereed, but I've sadly, come to the news today that England have dropped to 15th in the world rankings, which I think might be an all-time low in my lifetime.
Yeah, listen, only positive things. Only positive things from here on up, right? So it sounded great. We had some great conversations as well with some of the, like you say, the ETS setup, some really exciting announcements incoming, and we are working with some people within the ETS to bring them on, and some of the leadership there to kind of come and chat to us a little bit about it and get everybody excited about England again and get us back to where we should be, right? Trying to compete for that bronze medal, not top 15.
I'll take single digits in the world rankings at this point, but yeah, no. The only way is up, dare I say.
Right. Okay. So before we go into the quick recap, I will give the answer to those desperate quiz listeners regarding Vogwell's very difficult question last week. And the question was, which 2 players have had the most appearances for England without ever scoring for England? And that is the senior setup. Once again, there was one person that got this correct, and it was Lizzie Ty. So we are 2.5 minutes into the podcast, and she's already been mentioned, which is just shocking. But I do have to call it out. The answers were, the first answer is very good friend of the podcast. We'll get onto him a little bit later. George Fitzgerald. A real icon of the scene, all 6'6" of him, a legend. Not related to Caitlin, but really should be. Definitely should be. And the other answer is a female player by the name of Joanne Wilson, who is also a very good friend of the podcast. So they get their shout outs, but maybe not for the right reasons.
Could not have been 2 better people to be that answer, to be honest. I'm sure they'll take it well and appreciate it.
Yeah, they've always played assisting roles, and Joe is one of, they're both fantastic players, but they're I'm sure they'll take that very well. But anyway, moving forward, Caitlin, let's have a quick recap of the games this week. We'll keep it nice, sharp and short, so we can bring our guest on. First up, we've got Kingfisher winning 26-12 over Beersted. Has been uploaded onto YouTube. Thank you, Kingfisher. Love that. What are your thoughts, Caitlin?
I mean, expected result. Great. Kingfisher have got those games up as they said they would. But my main highlight has to be big blam from friend of the pod, Aisha Chowdhury. Go and watch the clip us on our Instagram if you haven't, because she does something quite funny afterwards. Yeah, a fun one.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Eagle-eyed viewers, I don't think the person she blams even really realizes what she's done afterwards, which is incredible. But anyway, next up we have Thunder beating Cambridge Tigers 27-19. Really great game. Really happy to see that Thunder are back where they are. Great performance by Tigers as well. Was drawing at some point kind of halfway through the match. So a real comeback from Tigers, and proved that actually when you let them get going, they really are a force, and there'll be a lot to take away from that. Still no Andy Hall. He has had a baby, so I didn't realise that last week. So congratulations to Andy and his partner. Yeah, awesome news. But yeah, great to see Thunder back in it, and did exactly what a good team does. Ran away with it at the end consistently and end up winning comfortably by 8 goals. So credit to them. They look like they're back and swinging again, which is amazing. Bromley bet, Caitlin?
Yes, 27-15 win for Beck in this game. So still a women's 12-goal win. So fairly convincing, but just want to highlight the attitude of Bromley, the kind of playing with no fear. Really encouraging to see, and definitely something that you mentioned last week, James, about this being a really good opportunity for the Bromley girls to kind of test themselves against the Beck girls, really go after them. They definitely did that. Yeah, maybe being a bit younger, you kind of play with, there's no expectation on you, nothing to lose. So she had some really good battles there. Rachel Turner against Kashala was really entertaining to watch whilst I was in the game even. So yeah, good Korfball from Bromley, but the quality of Beck just coming through there, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Would agree with that. It was a really good watch. And Ross Carr-Taylor uploaded it to his YouTube channel. For those of you that aren't aware, Ross Carr-Taylor is the name on YouTube. So give that a Google and you'll find the live stream. He does that every week. Absolute legend. So yeah. And then the final game. So before we go into the final game, this is a perfect opportunity for us to introduce our podcast guest, Caitlin. So I think he's going to be much better, well-versed to talk through this game than we are. So should we start the intro, Caitlin?
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
I feel like it's getting repetitive now. It's just getting repetitive, isn't it? But anyway, let's bring him in. Here we go. So today's guest is a special one, Caitlin. He's truly now a hallmark of the English National League, driving his team Nomads to 3rd place and the bronze medal last year. Incredible feat. He was Nomads' top goal scorer with 66 goals in the season, which is very, very impressive, and proved why he's one of England's elite players. A constant threat all over the court, and genuinely, for me, one of the most underrated players in the league. He's had an illustrious career already in Korfball at his young age, but arguably his crowning achievement coming when he convinced Ashley Warner to start dating him.
Definitely the other way around.
I love it. He's been at Nomads his entire life, and we are super excited to have him come on and discuss his journey in Korfball with us. Ladies and gents, please join us in welcoming Nomads icon and all-round legend, Sam Lee, to the pod.
Welcome, Sam. Woo,
Thank you. Wow. A little bit speechless after that. I'm not one to take that positivity well, but wow. Thank you. I appreciate the warm welcome.
No, I didn't have time to look it up, but you scored. I remember thinking you scored a ton of goals in that 3rd, 4th place playoff last year. Do you remember how many it was?
I want to say 6. 5 or 6.
So at least it's at least a 71-72 goal season, right?
Oh, sorry, not just the playoffs.
Yeah. No. What I mean is, 66 goals in the season, but then I didn't know how many you scored in the playoffs. I think it was 66 up until the final game, but then
fine.
6 goals, so 72 goals across the season, mate. That's a Nomad's top goal scorer. That's a solid return, mate.
Yeah, I'm absolutely happy with that. But credit to the team. There you go. I can't score goals on my own. The assists were on fire.
There we go. I love it. And listen, how's your week been, mate? How's your week been so far?
Yeah, all good. Very Korfball heavy. Obviously ETS on Saturday, so that was a really good session. Game on Sunday, and then we train Mondays. So I have done nothing but Korfball this week.
Wow.
Obviously work, but we'll forget about that point and move on.
And now podcast Tuesday as well.
And
Wow,
now
it really
podcast
is an
Tuesday.
intense Korfball
Training
week.
tomorrow as well.
Yeah. 5 consistent days. I love it.
Yeah.
But listen, we'd love it if you would just give us a brief rundown on the game. So obviously result was 19-20, and I hope you won't mind me saying this, Sam, given some of the results that have happened over the last couple of weeks for Nomads, it's been, I would say, a kind of a turbulent start to the season. I think that is, given the team that Trojans put out as well, that's a really kind of impressive result, and I guess wouldn't have been as expected. I hope you don't mind me saying that. A 19-20 really tight game. Looks like you guys obviously starting to find your rhythm again, moving into the midway point of the season.
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. I think never happy to walk away with a loss, but I think there were a lot of positives in that game for us. 2 or 3 times during the game we were 4 or 5 goals down, so I think teams showed a lot of character to fight back to that. I think we probably scored 4 or 5 in the last 5 or 6 minutes, almost unanswered as well, to get back to that 19 point. Unfortunately, couldn't get the equaliser. I did have one that bounced around the basket a few times and popped out, so would have been absolutely lovely to get the point. But I think the team walked away pretty happy overall. Like you say, I think we've had a mixed bag of results so far. So yeah, overall positives in that game for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's got to give you a little bit of confidence with the squad itself. I know you've had a lot of, particularly on the girls' side, a lot go off to university, and to Nomads girls still are not Nomads. Trojans girls are still very, very strong. So for your female players to play against them and come out with that result must be encouraging, at least to take forward, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. We've had, I think it's been mentioned a few times, but we've had quite a lot of change from a first team perspective, especially around our girls. Our boys have stayed pretty consistent, but I think it's credit to the girls coming in now. We've had a couple of really great recruits from universities. They've been unbelievable. So Hetty Adams and Morgan Jones coming in, both been really great. Hetty didn't play on the weekend, in fairness, but Morgan's been fantastic now she's back. Layla stepping up from our juniors as well from a couple of years ago, very, very young, but a ton of potential. I think there's massive credit there to those girls coming in, and I think that's kind of where we find ourselves a little bit now. It's that gelling period, trying to adjust to the changes and yeah, get that chemistry back as a squad. But I think Sunday's game was a big credit towards that.
Yeah. Amazing to see it as well, mate. Really sounds like with results like that, it just makes the season so entertaining. And again, we've mentioned it multiple times on the podcast that second through, ninth, that really does feel like anybody's game. And I feel like as the season progresses, we're really going to see that. Would also love to give you, I guess, a platform to talk a little bit about. You've obviously had that. You've got Europe coming up. Kind of, what do you want for the season for Nomads, right? Like, what could you look forward to, and kind of what does the future look like for Nomads, I guess, in the next kind of 6 months or so?
Yeah, I think our goal is always going to be playoffs. I think we've touched on maybe a couple of results that have gone against us this so far this year. Maybe a couple of results that we would have hoped to go the other way, like I say, but I think we've got some time to build now. We're going towards Europe. We're focusing on that. I think second half of the season, I would expect a bit of a different Nomads to come through the league, which I will be thoroughly looking forward to. Just that extra time, extra training, new people, all of us gelling. That would be hugely important for us. We're probably underdogs now for the playoff spots with some of those results, but there's no reason why we can't do it. That's ultimately going to be the goal. But like you say, there's a lot of teams that I would say are saying the same thing. I think everyone is targeting those kind of 3 places behind Beck, and I genuinely think anything can happen. To be honest, if we can get some availability, consistent availability, get through a couple of these injuries that we've had here and there, I think the consistency will then start to show. We didn't have Alex on the weekend, for example. He had a knock from the Bearsted game, so I think that's again another credit to Ollie Pritchard coming in for again one of our Nomads juniors. But coming in and putting in a big performance against tough Trojans boys. So we've got the depth there. I think it's an adjustment period now. But very, very positive about the rest of the season. And it's going to be a close one.
And something you just mentioned there, Sam, Ollie Pritchard being a junior, something that maybe not everyone knows about Nomads is that they currently have, and actually have pretty much always had, a really solid junior setup. If you're ever at any of the London mini games, which are small youth tournaments that take place every couple of months on a Sunday, Nomads always have a really strong selection, lots of young players. And I know you yourself, Sam, are a one club man, which I think is quite rare in korfball. So would love to know, and I think that leads us quite nicely on into your korfball beginnings and how you came to start playing at Nomads.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd echo what you say. I think just to touch on what you said at the start there, I think the likes of a Tornadoes and Bromley get mentioned a lot regarding the youth setup, but Nomads have got a really strong junior setup, and as credit to some of our coaches, Claire, Libby's mum, Cara has done a ton of work over the years. We've got our ex-juniors that help out. Like we've really piled a lot of work into our junior setup. And I think the proof is in our National League team. I mean, I don't know how many of you saw kind of our social media through the playoffs last year, but like half of our squad were Nomads juniors. So across not just the starting eight, like you've got myself, you've got Ollie, Alex, like you said, Ollie Pritchard, Layla, Libby was a Nomads junior. There's so many that we've got that have come through the ranks and been one club people just like me. But yeah, on myself, started at the age of it was 10 or 11. I was never very good at football, so that was not my forte. I found that one out quickly. Also, who likes the wet, the cold, the mud? Like it just wasn't me. It was Ollie Bell that introduced me into Nomads and to Korfball. Him and Alex were already playing at that point. And I think that first training session, Keith Stockwell was my first kind of coach on the post that kind of talked me through what korfball was, etc. And I think after scoring that first goal, I was hooked. Being told that I was a natural shooter, you're just feeding the ego now, and I was done from that point onwards. But the one thing I would say, for a large part of my junior kind of development through Nomads, I had Terry Ford and Ian Owen as my coach, and I will apologise now because I was a lazy kid, chubby as a result as well, but I did not want to exert any energy. Like that is just a fact. So probably didn't develop as quickly as maybe some of the others. I just preferred to stand and take a long shot, and that was me, and that was my part of the game. So but like I am fully a one club man. Been with Nomads ever since. I probably moved into seniors and into squad a little later than some of the others. Like always comparing myself against an Ollie or an Alex, who were, I think by the point I joined the squad, already in second or first team. Advantage of height over me anyway, but there we go. That's been all my life as well. I think the first time that I joined squad training as a youngster, you had like the likes of kind of like Zeets, Ian, Emma, Anna all training, and they were passionate trainers, and I was scared, literally scared for the life of me. But it was a completely different level, probably one I wasn't ready for, but a good experience nonetheless. I would say probably spent most of the kind of teenage years, let's call them, going between the kind of thirds, maybe second team within Nomads. Had some really experienced players around me that kind of helped develop me as a player. So massive credit to everyone, and that continues to be something that we do now with our juniors, like try and make sure that they've got the right experience around them to bring them into the seniors, because it is a big transition. I think my first team appearance was before I went off to uni, but it wasn't much before. So kind of puts the age range around that one a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I think once coming back from uni, that was the first time really I broke into the kind of first team. I think I started that season in the thirds and made my way to the first by the end of it. So I'd clearly changed mentality. I put some effort in. And was proving myself to some extent at least. But it's kind of been there and since. I spent quite a while in between the first and seconds, to be fair. But I've had a good run recently in the first team. As James, you so kindly said at the start, those words will stick with me.
I love the term passionate trainers as a way to describe some of those characters. But yeah, some Nomads legends you mentioned there. Cesar Bike, obviously, Cara Allen, with all the work that she's done there. And as I say, now you're kind of one of the first names on that Nomads team sheet, starting 8. How did you find that kind of period when you're kind of floating between first and second team? It's not something we've actually touched upon in the podcast yet. That the difficulties that come with being kind of wanting to get more first opportunities, but not quite being there sometimes, and trying to find consistency. So yeah, I would love to hear a little bit more about what it's like to be in that position.
Yeah, it's not an easy one, and I think probably most of us have gone through it at a point in time, right? Maybe some of us later than others, but you just got to keep grinding, right? Like the motivation for me was there. I wanted to be as good a player as I could. I've always been a little bit like that as a person. Like commitment has never been a problem. So I think it's just a case of biding your time, training against the people, the best people in the club that you can, and taking the opportunities when you get them. I think the catalyst for me to kind of break into that first team was just a consistency of performance at that second team level to kind of go, was scoring 6 or 7 goals a game, was shutting out the other whoever I was playing, and just trying to cement yourself as that kind of key role in the team to kind of go knocking, right? And I think it would have been Terry Ford at the time, who's coaching, that probably gave me my first kind of run in the first team. I'd had other first team performances since then, but never anything permanent. So credit to him. But obviously thankful. But yeah, like Terry's been a coach of mine for a number of years, probably up until recently, obviously with Neela coming in.
I was gonna say, firstly, some inspiring words there, Sam. I'll take those on board. As someone that kind of, I guess, plays for the second team and then occasionally appears for the first team, I'll take Sam's word for it. Blake, I'm coming for you. Yeah. You weak boy. You're mine now.
That's 23 minutes for our first mention, Blake Powerfroman.
Yeah, I'm coming for his spot, prepare. No, I think you aptly describe what that experience is like, and I'm sure lots of people relate to that, and it's very inspiring to know, I guess the effort goes in and you can get there. You also mentioned someone that we really wanted to touch on before we kind of get into some of the other segments in the show. You are currently being coached and have been, I believe, for the last 2 years now. Is this the third year that it will be? Right. You are coached by Neela Brennan. For me, the greatest female korfball player ever in England, and I certainly think one of the best female brains ever. That I don't think that could ever be denied. What's that like? Give us a little bit of an insight. We're going to try and get her onto the pod at some point, but give us some insight into what it's like to be coached by one of the greatest.
I'll put in a good word for you, and I'll try from my angle to get her onto the pod, because she would be great. No, honestly, Neela is an amazing coach. We thought it was a huge long shot when we asked the question. I think right place, right time. She obviously loves korfball, super keen, but she has been incredible since coming in. I think one of the big things, and it's the kind of stuff that goes unnoticed, but she has instilled a huge amount of confidence in our squad. Probably something that we were maybe lacking before. It's kind of been clear, like the team didn't really change, right? But before Neela came in versus Neela taking over as coach for the last 2 seasons, and you can see what's happened as a result of that. Like, achieved the first playoffs that we've been to in years, a couple of years ago, and then achieved the same goal again and actually went one better, going and getting that third place bronze medal, albeit against Neela. But
she's that good. She taught you how to beat her.
Yeah, there were one or two comments, I think, in the first season. I think we went on a run of, it was up until we played you in December time that I think we were unbeaten. We were top of the league for a long time, and I had a running joke with Ash the whole time that we were top of the league. We played one more game than you, but it didn't matter. So I think it was almost instant to that extent, and someone that can come in and do that is just proves it. But yeah, we are absolutely delighted to have her coaching, and hopefully for as long as she'll keep us.
I think it's a massive thing, actually, and I'm glad you mentioned it. The confidence in korfball. I think, in a sport where everyone can do everything or is able to contribute in all aspects. Having a belief in yourself that you are able to contribute to all of those things, and your team supports you in that, and your coach supports you in that, is fundamental, I think, to the coaching as a discipline. And you hear it spoken about in many other sports as well. Just that belief being really crucial. Sounds like a simple thing, but John Bagnall also spoke about it a bit on here. Really values that, the mental side of the game, like, supporting players to be the best that they can be. So yeah, really not surprised that
No, it's
Neela
not
has
surprising.
brought that. Yeah. But on this season, you find yourselves in an exciting position in terms of upcoming tournaments following the success of last year, of course. In December, you will be going to the Korfball, the Champions League satellite tournament. So, for those that don't know, all of the leagues across Europe, teams that finish in either first, second, or third, depending on the country, will qualify for a club competition. So the footballing equivalent, if you're top 5 in the Premier League, you qualify for the Champions League. If you come top in the England National League in korfball, you qualify for the Korfball Champions League. Second, you qualify for the Challenger segment, and if you come third, you qualify for the satellite. So from the 9th to the 13th of December, you will be going to Lisbon, the kind of second home of korfball has become over the past few years, to compete against a series of other teams from Turkey, Scotland, Slovakia, just zooming in on the flag that I've got up, and Wales and Catalonia. So I think first time in a long time that Nomads have qualified for something on the European stage. So there are many things we can ask here. I think firstly, how are you feeling about an upcoming tournament like this? And then secondly, how do you feel that your current preparation has been? And then we'll get onto your kind of hopes and ambitions for it. But we'll start with your feeling towards it and how preparation's going.
Yeah, super excited. This is, for me, the first international competition that I will be at. So I'm absolutely buzzing personally. I think it makes it even better. We've been a little bit on edge for a while with player availability for the tournament, whether we were actually going or not. So to be able to commit now, having sorted a squad out and a good squad as well. Really excited. Super happy for the club, for all of the players that are going to be going out there. We're really looking forward to it. I think prep has kind of been ongoing. We've got one or two kind of players that aren't in our national league team as of today. So they will be coming back training with us, which has been good again to get some of the old guard back. But that's kind of where the situation we found ourselves in. But like the fact that we're going, it's super exciting.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be really nice because I know some of the players that are returning for that are players that helped you qualify. So that is really nice that they're able to come out there. And I think this tournament has come actually at a really good time for yourselves. A team that's obviously in a bit of a transition period, working on new players gelling. I know kind of from experience with Beck and with Trojans that these competitions offer high level competition to play against people that you don't know, which is nice in Korfball. So this could be really good for Nomads season. I'm sure you'll be able to take back experiences from this to the league. So in terms of the tournament itself, who do you see as kind of your biggest competition? And where do you think Nomads may finish, and what are your ambitions for it?
Yeah, I am not overly familiar or follow the international korfball scene, but
What?
I think I know, shocking, right? Catalonia. I do not want to butcher the pronunciation, so I will, and I haven't got it in front of me, so I will refrain from saying their name. But I think are going to be the ones to beat. And I think actually a game that we're probably all really looking forward to. Like you say, I think being able to just go and play against new teams, new players, people you don't know. The National League has been pretty consistent for a while, so you get familiar with how teams play, the people you're going to be matched up against. So this will be a whole new experience, which will be great. I think in terms of hopes, expectations, like you only go to these tournaments for one reason. You want to go and win, right? Like, of course we do. Whether we can or not, we will see. But I think the whole squad will absolutely be going out there to win it. I think there are a couple of good teams within that. From what I've heard, the Catalonia team very good. I think you guys, as in Beck, played them maybe a year or so ago in one of the previous kind of Champions League formats. So haven't yet, but we'll be watching that back. Get a bit of an insight into the team. But really excited.
Yeah. Sorry, James, do you want to go?
No. I was just gonna say, like, I think though that even looking at Beck, you know, once they got that European experience under their belt, when I first joined, we missed that first European tournament. We came fourth that year, shocker, and then didn't go the next year. And I honestly think since Beck have gone to those European tournaments, I think that's when we've really seen them kind of kick on and become the Beck that people know now, where it's this like solidified squad of people that all work so hard for each other. And I think a lot of the team chemistry was built there, to be honest with you. That's when I noticed the biggest change. And I'm sure you guys will get that as well, which is genuinely very, very exciting.
Will be a great opportunity to play against different styles of korfball and just really breaks up the National League season nicely.
So now we've spoken a little bit about the Champions League. I do just want to quickly break in and let the listeners know we did have some correct guesses on the strange meal last week. For those of you that may not have listened, we found out that somebody's post-match meal was I'm trying to remember exactly what it was now. It was a block of cheese. Yes. It was a litre of full-fat milk. It was a jar of olives with the oil drained out. And then I also found out I missed out. It was some lentil crisps in that, by the way. Oh. That was included in that as well. And there was a final item, but I can't quite remember.
Pork pies.
Oh, pork pies. How could I forget? Well, a couple of listeners got it, but I think it was probably too easy for the people that did guess right. We'll just say they're part of the team. So we're going to keep it on going. I spoke to him at the weekend, and he also told me, I've now revealed it's a male, but he also told me that another meal that he's once had that he got some heat for was an entire jar of lentils, which was a post-match meal. Raw lentils is a bold one for me. Just on there, just raw lentils out of the tin. So people can keep watching that now, but Yeah, all that talk about post-match meal, Caitlin, it's got me excited for a nice drink. Would you say?
Oh,
What was that you've got in your hand there, Caitlin?
Funny you say that. I've just picked up Grounded's pure plant-powered chocolate protein shake.
Oh, brilliant, Caitlin. What exactly is that?
I mean, this drink is something that could be a perfect post-match meal. I mean, firstly, I know there's nothing fake in our shake. In the beginning, humans nourished themselves with ingredients that were simple, whole, and pronounceable.
Then the scientists turned up with their white lab coats and synthetic compounds that tasted oh so sweet.
As we kept adding more fake stuff to our diets, no one stopped to ask, should we be doing this?
That's why that's why Grounded made this tasty milkshake with 20 grams of protein and absolutely nothing fake in it. 20 grams of protein, Caitlin. We should ask Joe Bedford, is that enough?
Call us old-fashioned, but we believe the best ingredients come straight from the ground, not the lab.
So, folks, for your perfect post-match meal or pre-match meal, use Grounded, the For Korf's Sake's first ever sponsor. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers is nice. Oh, sorry, mint choc chick flavour and chocolate flavour.
Chocolate flavour. Available at Tesco, Ocado, Holland & Barrett, Planet Organic and other health food stores.
Lovely. Wait, sorry, I haven't actually drank it yet. Yeah, I'm worried about how long we've spent just doing that. Sorry, Sam.
Sorry.
You're good.
No, because I did really want to get into. We've had fan Q&A that we've had this fan Q&A that we're trying to weave into the podcast. So some of the questions have already been answered anyway. That's what we always do for the record. We're not always just going to ask you exactly what the fans like. We try and weave it in where we can. I think probably a few questions from that, Caitlin.
Yes. So we've obviously asked out on Instagram again for some questions for you, Sam. And we've had some nice responses. So thank you people for sending those in. First one that we're gonna start with. It's a big one. What is your favourite sports hall? And you can't pick the fortress that is Epsom College.
Disappointed that I can't pick it. And just because I know who answered this question, I am disappointed that this was the question she submitted. But there we go. Out of everything she could have possibly asked, she knows who she is. I'll chuck an international one in there just because I have had a great experience playing at PKC against their under-19s, and their sport hall is absolutely phenomenal. But I know we don't really care about that one. National League, I would go. The floor isn't always the best, but I will pick based on the vibes. Kingfisher's Hall with those built-in speakers. That is a recipe for a good match. Like that really gets you bumped. So I'll go with Kingfisher's Hall.
Yeah, very, very fair. It is good actually for atmosphere, as you say. Even though it might be like the biggest hall, but yeah, good vibes in there.
You know I don't like a big hall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I also love that out of all the themes that this podcast has had, Epsom has probably received such an unnecessary amount of hate. I know people don't like the small hall, but I think on most episodes, someone's carved out Epsom College. Someone's called it out. It is like the most hated. Like it's crazy the amount of dislike that like Caitlin described it. The fortress is getting.
There is some hate out there.
Yeah.
Put some love on Epsom's name. Right. Should we go for the next one, Caitlin?
Yes, let's do it. And this is super serious, super Korf related. Which fruit or vegetable could you throw the furthest?
Great question. And I do think there is a fundraising suggestion out of this for the next Nomads tournament. So let me see if I can work some magic. But fruit or vegetable, I think I'm going kiwi. I feel like good
Nice.
size, that rough exterior, giving you some good grip, so you can absolutely rip it. Feels like the right fruit.
Nice. It's a good choice. I feel like I could welly wang a pineapple quite far.
Where,
But I mean, I guess you'll all have to come to Nomads tournament next summer to see who comes out on top, to be honest.
I look forward to the Nomads tournament. That's happening. That's a guarantee. I think I'm going to go out of order here, but I think the next question, because it's so topical, Sam, Nomads tournament or Leicester Summer tournament?
I mean, asking this question to someone that is through and through Nomads is just silly. Of course, I'm going to say Nomads tournament, and I have to say, although touch wood, because I do not want to ruin it, the weather is always on point. So there you go. That's my take. People may disagree.
No, good shout. Actually, to be very fair, I don't think there has been a rainy Nomads that I've been at. I'm sure we'll talk about Leicester tournament in detail, but also quick shout out to people that run that. Is absolutely immense as well. But yeah, love a summer tournament. This next question. Do you think the number of korfball couples has declined since the death of Fixtures Live?
The answer's got to be yes, right? Like, where else now can you search for a player only knowing their team and their number and find your match? Ask Adam. I don't know.
It was the original dating
all
app.
I'm saying is we can't rely on unis for growth alone. Like, there's got to be some level of matchmaking in this.
I love it.
Yeah,
nobody needs Hinge.
Just isn't cutting it.
Yeah. I didn't know Fixtures Live. I'm not super familiar with it, being new from uni. I didn't realize it was being used as kind of a Tinder. I'm sure. Well, is that the sort of thing you did when you and Ash sort of first started dating? Did you have to put her through? Wait, put her in. No, she's got enough goals, enough appearances. Yep, she fits the need. Move on.
Yeah, and the best thing is it's the other way round.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did.
you need to be grilling her on this one. That's my claim. Normally, when How We Meet comes about, or How We Met comes about, I have to stay quiet and smirk in the background while she reluctantly tells the story of how she essentially stalked me via Fixtures Live.
That is immense.
Ashley Warner,
the scorner.
Dark horse.
But hey, so we're 7.5 years later, so there are no complaints.
Fixtures Live, folks. That's where all the love starts. Right, I think that's. I think there's probably one more question on here, Caitlin, if you don't mind me asking. That I think would be really good for everybody to know. Have you ever considered moving club? And if so, what is it that made you stay at Nomads?
It's a good question. Not properly. No. I think Billy said it to me the other day. It was in reference to Arsenal as well as Nomads, but Billy Ashby, that is. I bleed red. Like, it's just a true statement, Like, the club is and will always be like a family. I think, like. We've mentioned our junior program. We've mentioned the focus that we put through that, and we've got so many players that. And ex-players that stay around, stay affiliated with the club. Like, it is just a big family. So no, I couldn't leave my Nomads.
Good on you. Love the one club. There's like Caitlin said at the beginning, there's very few one club players in Korfball, and I think it's incredible to see. We haven't given Nomads anywhere near enough credit and love as they deserve. They're a staple of multiple different facets of the English Korfball League and influencing it from junior level to summer tournaments to everything they do. They're all iconic, and good to get some Nomads love. But with that in mind, Caitlin, let's get on to the final segment that we'll put you through, Sam. We'll put you through the ringer. Said at the beginning, I think you're one of the most underrated players in the league, and I think we try to give some love to everybody where we can, but we wanted to do a fun segment where we wanted to build a division of what we believe to be like a fierce division of underrated players. So, Sam, we'll hand over to you. Who would be the first pick on your team sheet of underrated players?
Okay. I'm going to start with a guy. And apologies because I don't know his last name, but Paul, who I think is Exeter based, but ETS over the weekend, like, really, really impressed me. He was involved in the ETS towards the end of kind of last stint, let's call it, but super athletic, a very good shot, and I've never seen someone look so calm and composed at the speed that he moves. I think massively underrated. So he will be my pick number one.
Yeah, that would be Paul Kim, who I'm glad you mentioned, because for me as well, and I know I'm not a coach, I'm not picking the squad, but was a real standout at the ETS, and I think Paul was a great example of. He's obviously lives in his base down in Exeter, so doesn't have national or even Premier League exposure currently, but was a great reminder to all of us really that there is such talent out there beyond just national and promo. He didn't just fit in at the ETS, he really stood out. Scored lots of goals, obviously very physically fit, and is allegedly in his early 30s but looks about 22. So I think someone needs to understand what his secret is and let us all know, please.
Mate, he is a staple of Exeter Uni. I think he graduated like a year or two ago. But when I started uni in 2015, funny story for everybody, I'd never met him before, and Toby Clark basically knocked on his door, and then our entire team, having never met him, literally barged into his room and bundled him on the bed. He'd never met us. He only knew Toby. Yeah, I'm so happy you picked him. Amazing person as well, by the way. Phenomenal human being. So yeah, just great pick. Right. Number two, Sam, you can either go or Caitlin. Do you want me to go to you? How do you want to do this?
I can go because next I've got a girl that I want to mention.
Yeah.
And this is probably, I think, a combination of being underrated, but also been hindered by injuries. But in the periods where she hasn't had injuries, I think was very underrated, and that would be the one and only Amy Medhurst, formerly Swain. Amy has played korfball for years and years and years and years and years. Has represented in the seniors as a teenager, but unfortunately various knee and ankle injuries kind of hindered her in recent years. But Amy was one of my favorite people to play with, and really helps a division work. And I think that's a quality that is often overlooked, but will also pop up with really important goals consistently, and is a great team member, and really glad that she hasn't packed in the Korf and is still playing at Kingfisher now. And I'm hoping that we can see her have a good run of games again, and really everyone gets to see the player that she still is and still can be. So Amy Medhurst is my pick in this team.
Great pick.
Love that.
Great pick.
Really should bleed yellow though, shouldn't she? Just putting it out there, yellow at heart. Maybe not anymore.
We'll have you back anytime, mate. We'll have you back.
Yeah, any time, come back. All right, awesome. Sam, back to you. Who are you going to pick? You can pick girl or boy. It's up to you now.
I'll go with another girl. Someone that I think maybe has had limelight stolen away from her a little bit by Miss L. Parker, who's obviously a phenomenal player. But Alex Richardson for me is massively underrated. I think she is a phenomenal player, aggressive, competes around the rebound, great passer, a fast physical defender, and a great shot. Like just all of the attributes I think that you want in a girl or any korfball player. So I think massively underrated for me.
Yeah, I massively agree with that. And again, someone who was at the ETS session over the weekend, and it was actually my first time got to play with her, only for about 15 minutes. But and I mean this in the best way possible. You can tell she's been coached by David Corinne Buckland. Her vision doesn't just look solely towards the post. She's aware of side assists, helping divisions work, and definitely had overlooked her myself in the past. I think that's a really great pick.
Love that. And then Caitlin, do you want to go back to you? Do you want to finish off the division, or have you got someone, or we can go back to Sam? How do you want to do it?
Do you have any more? I have got a few, but is there any more you want to mention, Sam?
I will go with my bias and chuck one of my own teammates.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And put Ellis Bassam's name in the ring. I don't think he gets enough credit. I think since he's broken into our first team, he has been a standout player for us. He's an unbelievable dynamic rebounder, and easily good for kind of 4 goals a game. So Again, someone just tall, athletic, fully committed. But yeah, I don't think gets enough credit, and I would firmly put him in the underrated category, and someone that should probably we should be looking out for over the coming years for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I've played against him. I've watched him grow into, when I play against him when he was playing for the twos, watched him grow into a phenomenal player. I've mentioned this before to multiple people out, when we've been watching him. Relentless shooter. It doesn't matter like what happens. It's this confidence and this relentless shooting of knowing that like you back yourself to score, and he does score a lot of goals. He's relentless with his attitude towards it and his gameplay, and I love it. The aggression he plays with, everything, the intensity. The guy is a monster and has turned into a real asset to your team.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you know what, he actually started, it was at Bromley when I was way back, Ellis, and that mentality, I think, is something that you saw there, that relentless shooting and energy, and it's glad he's kind of managed to channel that into actually becoming very skillful in rebounding and many other ways as well, as you mentioned. So yeah, great final pick.
All four of them picks are phenomenal. I think there's a ton of honourable mentions. We haven't seen her that much in the National League this year, but due to injury, and I think that we will. A bit of a legacy player. I think everybody rates her that knows Rebecca Clements, who plays for Bearsted. Bit of a legend for England, but still now the level and the output that she puts in is just incredible. If she comes back this season, I think that changes Bearsted's season. I wouldn't have said most people would say she's underrated. They know how amazing she is, but I don't necessarily know if some of the new listeners would have necessarily seen her before, but she is an immense player, really. And then lastly as well, I want to call out, I think is it Owen Mansfield from Tornadoes?
Yeah.
Is that who gets a lot of goals and I think goes unnoticed in a lot of the time in a Tornadoes team that is very young and very aggressive and got some really talented players. But Owen is doing his job and scoring lots of goals and providing and assisting for the team. And every time I watch him, I'm always surprised. I knew him as a ref before I knew him as a player, and I'm always surprised at the talent that he's got. So it's definitely one as well for an honourable mention. But that is a wicked division, I think, guys. I think that would compete in the National League and go right up against anybody, which is awesome. In the meantime, Kane, I'm not sure if there's anything else that you want to kind of go through with Sam.
I think that covers everything. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Best of luck for the satellite tournament. All the games will be on YouTube, of course. I'm sure we'll be sharing those alongside Nomads. Very, very exciting times.
Yeah, really appreciate the support.
Thank you so much for your time, mate. You've been brilliant. It's been super fun. And best of luck with the tournament. And I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Cheers, mate. Take care, buddy.
Cheers. Bye.
Oh, lovely. I mean, we know Sam. Sam's such a wonderful human, is he? Such a nice guy.
Well, this is why I like doing this podcast, because yes, I do kind of know Sam-ish, know of him, but have never got to like really speak to him for this amount of time. And yeah, it's great that we and everyone listening can also get to know him a bit more and get to know a bit more about Nomads and everything that's going on there this season. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, great human being. Great asset for Nomads, great ambassador for Nomads as well, and turning into, like you said, maybe at the beginning it didn't go as fast for him, but now is absolutely a staple and a phenomenal player, top goal scorer, and turning into just a monster. So brilliant to have him on, brilliant to get his insight, and very grateful as always for his time. We will be watching them for sure as they go to Europe, and we will be supporting them and cheering them on. But I think that kind of sums us up for this episode, Caitlin. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We are beyond grateful as always. Next week's guest will be Corinne Buckland, and we're going to get some students, and we're going to get the GB, the British Student Korfball Association, some representatives from there. It's going to be a wild podcast, lots going on. We're very excited. But yeah, Caitlin, over to you to sign us out.
Like my favourite shot, I'm going to drop off and leave the pod.